The first thing you need to do in Schedule 1 is to buy the golden skateboard as soon as you possibly can. It costs $1,500, but it's the most effective mode of transportation in the game. It's the fastest, the quickest, the most agile. You can jump with it, get through tight gaps. It really does not compare to anything else, even the cheetah. This is the best way to get around the map, and it's going to enhance your experience so much. So I just can't stress enough, please buy the golden skateboard. It'll make the game so much more fun and easier, and you won't have to spend most of your time traveling. Next, I'm going to tell you not to buy any other car besides the Viper. This Viper is objectively the best vehicle in the game because of the trunk and the capabilities that it has to carry supplies across long distances and across the map. It's not super slow, it doesn't handle bad, it only costs $9 grand, which is on the low end compared to some of the other cars, and it also has, I think, a 16 base trunk, which is so important for transporting stuff, and it, blasts all the other cars out of the water in that regard. So I've already told you the transportation aspect should be the golden skateboard, but for transporting objects, it needs to be the Viper. So between those two, you have all your transportation and supplement needs done, and it only costs you about 10 grand, maybe a little bit higher. But that's really all you need. You don't need to buy any of the fancy cars. The only reason you would ever need to buy, the cheetah is if you want to flex. If you're super rich, you don't know what to do with your money, then I would say go ahead and buy it. But especially when you're in that mid-game section, do not waste your money on any vehicles or any other skateboards. Buy the Viper, and that should be it. Third is, do not use dealers early in your save. You should wait till you have an excess of product before you start to use the dealers. And I know it may be tempting early on with Benji and some of the other guys to just give your product and say, well, it's passive income. It's not, because you're missing out on so much money. It shouldn't even qualify as passive income. They eat into your profits. They slow things down a lot. You're completely out of control. Once again, the only time you should be using dealers is when you get to the later game and you have stuff like bricks and stuff like that. You can just give them and say, I have too much, sell this, and I'll come by and collect the cash later. But if you make your own sales early on, you're getting that curfew bonus, which leads me into my next point. Whenever you're dealing yourself, you always want to schedule your deals at that late night window, midnight to 6 a.m. You have unlimited time to complete it too, because time stops at 4 a.m. and for every sale you get that sweet 20% curfew bonus, and that helps so much in the early game when you need that boost in your profits. And once again, if you go to your dealers, they don't get that, so you need to do this because you get that 20%. It's super easy to do at night. You can spend your day doing the managing and all that stuff and then deal at night, and you're getting that extra money. I can't stress this enough. You have to make your deals late night. It just helps out so much. You have unlimited time. It just outweighs all the other time frame. Next, I'm telling you to create a consistent route that you do every single night. One that avoids the police, because you should quickly figure out where the police are and start to avoid them. And then once you have this route, you just become so consistent and quick every single night. It's just a routine, and that's how you're going to build up the money so quickly. If you make enough sales during the day, by the nighttime, almost every single possible deal area or deal spot will be filled. So if you have that route every night, you don't even really have to look at the map. You just know where to go, complete your deals. If someone's not in that spot, then you just move on, go to the next one. And it just makes it so easy, especially where the buildings are located, like the sweatshop and the barn. Those are so easy to make routes through. So if you need a route, you can comment it, but it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. You can also get that curfew bonus every single time without worrying about police, because it's really only 2 or 3 areas where the police are active. Next is don't gamble your money, and I might get a little bit flack for this, but it should be pretty obvious. For the most part, do not gamble unless you have tons of cash to spare and are looking to have some fun. Then I would say gambling is fine. But if you're in that mid game or early game stage, do not gamble. You're not going to make your money back for the most part. I know that slot machines, there's some fishy business going on. They might be a little bit broken, but that will be fixed soon, and it's just not worth it. You should just be playing the game. On the flip side of that, I understand it's a video game, and if that's how you're gonna have fun with it, is to just gamble with your money, then I guess that's fine, and you shouldn't be punished for that. But I'd say for the most part, stay away from gambling and just try to spend that money on maybe supplies or stuff that you can actually grow your empire with. 7th on this list, I would say don't hire a cleaner. Cleaners take up precious staff space inside of your buildings, because in the barn, I know you only get 10 people, and that starts to, fill up really quickly. So cleaners are kind of just a cosmetic thing. It may seem tempting to want your building to be spotless and, get rid of all those trash, seed bottles, all that stuff, soil things. but it really isn't worth paying and also supporting them and filling up a spot in your, warehouse, barn, even the house, whatever it is. Spend the money on a botanist who will actually make you money and contribute to the process that's going on. Cleaners just don't do that. I mean, I can understand why someone would maybe want it, but if you want your finances and processes to be as smooth as possible, skip the cleaners because they're not going to help you in the long run. Next is definitely launder your money. You need to be laundering your money, even if it doesn't seem important at the time. I promise you, it's going to catch up to you and you're going to be thankful that you started to launder your money early. Regardless of whether you have the laundromat or even the taco shop, you need to be maximizing your laundering every single day because you need to have the most funds possible inside, your account. Get all your stuff out of cash because cash is where you're going to earn all your money, and you need to get it into your bank account so you can spend it on more big purchases. For me, I didn't take it seriously until I wanted to buy the barn, and then I had to wait like 5 days until I could finally gather all my cash into my account and buy it. Also, do not forget to do your 1,000 deposit limit every single week because you're going to kick yourself if you don't, because that's a huge bonus. Next, I'm telling you to use your other properties as storage, whether you have the sweatshop, the motel, the house, or the barn. If you're living in one of them, you're probably using it as your main base, but don't forget to use the other ones as kind of hubs where you can store some of your product and then distribute it, and it makes it easier, especially if you have dealers and you're at that stage where you can go down to your house and then just give it to the dealer. It's a good spot, especially if you're running out of storage up in the barn or the warehouse or whatever. Utilize those other portions and buildings that you've unlocked. Finally, the last thing on this list is I'm going to tell you, don't ever forget to like and subscribe. But I actually have a 10th one, but make sure if you do like this video, make sure to go down and hit the subscribe button and that like button. But anyway, 10th is don't be afraid to spend money. This one might be a little bit obvious too, but some people like to see that big number in their account, and don't be afraid to spend it down to even 1,000. Always have that buffer though. I'm not saying blow all your money, but spend most of it because the only way to make money is to spend it, and that couldn't be more true in this game. So buy that property, buy those equipment, scale up your business because that's the only way you're going to grow and advance. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching if you made it this far, and I will see you in the next one.